And we are live. What's up, Metalheads? Welcome back to another episode of Full Metal 5, the first of a dual series of Full Metal 5 this week. Infinity War fast approaching, and I can't speak for the entirety of the panel, except for two of them, because I already know their answers. I'm super excited for it. And, in celebration of Marvel Week here on Full Metal Media, like we were at DC Week, what better way to celebrate a brand than by looking at the absolute worst it's ever done? Because right now we are discussing the top 5 worst Marvel movies of all time. We're talking all Marvel, not just MCU, because top 5 worst MCU would be a fucking nightmare. And I'm not even gonna go near that. But with me, I have a great panel to discuss it. First of which, he was just on last week, and he is back again because he explicitly wanted to be on this episode. Cody Newburry. Cody, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. The reason why I wanted to be on this one, because after Friday, a movie coming out won't make this list, but it may change everybody's top 5 of the best. So that's why I wanted to be on this one, because there are some real bad Marvel movies out there.
Understatement of the millennium, Cody. Understatement of the millennium. Also, next to him, I have someone else who really wanted to be on this one, Ryan Permison. Ryan, ready to give us some hot and spicy takes?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll add to this chaos. I completely misunderstood the memo I got in the chat room earlier, but you know what? It's all right. I can think of other movies on the fly. That's not going to be too much of an issue, so we'll see how it goes. Let's explore this chaos.
Well, you didn't have to. You didn't have to say it. You really need to get better at lying on these shows. Also, next to him, he's been gone for quite some time, but he is back for this. Robert Parker. Robert, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm very, very happy to be back on Full Metal 5. I haven't been on the show in a while, but I love it so much. And there are a lot of shitty Marvel movies, so let's get into them.
Yes, there are plenty of shitty Marvel movies. And also, we got to meet rookie quota somehow, and what better way to do it than with this man? He is John Wroble. John, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's been a while since I've been on Full Metal Media. Last time I was here, I played against Robert in our Iron Man match. So, I'm ready to talk some crappy Marvel movies because there's a lot of them.
Well, no competition. You're not going to get any competition on this show, John, because this is a top 5 show where we make a top 5 list right here live for you. So the way this works is we go in 3 different selection processes. The first one is the nominations period. What we're going to do, we're going to each go around and nominate different bad Marvel movies until we get a top 7. In order for a movie to make a top 7, it has to get 3/5 majority vote. So I will go first, and when looking at the worst Marvel movies, you have to look at the Charlie Brown of Marvel film franchise, and that's Fantastic Four. Literally, any version of the Fantastic Four could get a spot on this list, and more than one might. Who knows? But I gotta look at the first one I want to throw up. I gotta give one that I think had the most potential and somehow came up the shortest. And that is 2015's Four Stick, which I refuse to call by its actual title. I mean, look, when I heard Josh Trank was making a Fantastic Four movie, I got really pumped because I really liked Chronicle a lot. Then I saw all the good actors they were getting, especially Michael B. Jordan of the Human Torch. I mean, black guy turns into fire. Why the hell not? That would go well in the South. But you get that, and this somehow had the most to gain, and somehow came up the shortest. I don't know how you did that. I mean, and look, it wouldn't have been as bad if they had let Josh Trank finish the movie, because halfway through, you can clearly tell this is Josh Trank's vision, which still wasn't great, but at least still interesting. And then as soon as you hit a certain point, you can clearly tell when the studio took over, and this just became superhero movie. It's bland, generic, so much sitting and talking in dark rooms. This movie sucks. It really does, and it absolutely should be on top 7. Cody, I'm gonna go to you first. Fantastic Four 2015 doesn't make top 7.
I'm going to go into a longer argument than I normally do for this. This is the one movie I think deserves on this list more than anything else. It was my number 1 choice. It's the one movie that bamboozled me into the theater. My wife said, "Hey, you like superhero movies. Why don't we go see that Fantastic Four?" No, it's going to be terrible. No, it's going to be good. 10 minutes of fighting. These people use 10 minutes of using their power as a team, and then all of a sudden beat the villain in 10 minutes. They wasted Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller, and Kate Mara in one movie where they had a golden opportunity to set up a franchise. This movie is gosh awful. It is dark, depressing. People complain about the DCEU being dark. This movie's disgusting. And I don't even want to see the cut of Josh Trank. I don't want to see anybody's version. This movie shouldn't even exist. Thank you for giving it back to Disney so they can actually make an okay Fantastic Four movie.
Friendly reminder, that deal is not done yet, but yes, thank God it's out of the hands of Fox.
Even if that's not, Incredibles came out and it was a better version, so we're okay.
That is a very accurate statement. I'm gonna go to Robert next. Robert, Fantastic Four 2015. Does it make top 7?
It's called Fan Four Stick.
Yeah, Fan Four Stick. This is a movie I actually saw in theaters twice. Because I went the first time, and a little bit. I went the first time, and I just didn't know how I felt. I knew I didn't love it, but I didn't feel as much despise as everybody else did at that time in 2015. So I went again. And like the first probably third actually works as a sci-fi movie, and then the second 2/3 of the movie falls apart completely. Like the best footage from the trailer doesn't even make it in the final cut of the movie. When you see the thing dropping out of an airplane and just wrecking shit, that's not in the movie. If you look at, there's like a huge time jump, a huge waste of not only the other cast members that they already said, but also Toby Kebbell, who is like a good actor who just does not take good projects.
With really shitty agents.
Yeah, he's got a terrible filmography, but he's a good actor. So absolutely, this deserves to be on the list.
All right, so Fan Four Stick is the first movie to make it on our top 7. But you want to enjoy Fan Four Stick as a drinking game. Go back and watch it and take a shot every time you see Sue Storm wearing a bad wig. And also, bad wig equals reshoot. I also thought it was funny. I'll finish ranting in a second. It's really funny because like you go in like the final scene where we're talking to the board director, and then like the very next scene, he's wearing a wig. Michael B. Jordan has a goatee. It's really painfully obvious reshoots. All right, and so Ryan, Fan Four Stick, your vote didn't count. What would you have said?
I would have probably said no, just because I avoided this massacre, so I can't really say anything good or bad about this movie. So I probably would have sat this one out and abstained.
All right, and John, what would you have said about Fan Four Stick?
Oh, it's god awful. This was number 2 on my list for worst. But at least it continues tradition with redemption of the Human Torch. Michael B. Jordan coming back.
That is true.
Killmonger, Chris Evans did it for Captain America. So there's a trend. Maybe they can break it whenever they reboot it. If they do reboot it, we'll see.
All right. Well, John, we are going to you next. Give us your first pick for top 7.
All right. My first pick, it's our man Nicolas Cage. You know, can be good and everything else, but the sequel of Ghost Rider had to be on this list, in my opinion. Spirit of the Vengeance did not need to exist.
All right, so Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance is on top 7. I'm going to go to Ryan first. Ryan, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
Well, this is actually one of the films that was in the back of my mind as far as overall bad Marvel movies. Yeah, I enjoyed the first one for what it was. It's a guilty pleasure. Probably not so much anymore, but back then it was. But yeah, Spirit of Vengeance is just, ugh. Nick Cage, I love you, brother. I do, but this is just not what you were signed up for, man. This is not you. You're better than this, Nick. So, Spirit of Vengeance, even though you had Heimdall himself, Idris Elba in there for good measure, you wasted his talent, you wasted everyone else's time, and most importantly, you wasted everybody's money. So, Ghost Rider Part 2, Spirit of Vengeance, yes, it should go on the list.
I'm going to me first, and yeah, Idris Elba wasted this movie. Kieran Hines wasted in another comic movie. See Justice League later for further reading on that. Also, I mean, I like seeing Christopher Lambert, Raiden from Mortal Kombat is in the movie. Also, okay, here's the thing. I really thought you were going to go the first one. And had you said the first one, I would have said no. But the second one, I think, is infinitely worse. So the fact that you said Spirit of Vengeance, yes. I'm going to give that a yes. I'm going to ratify. And Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance makes top 7. Cody, you didn't get a vote. What would you say about Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance?
Me? I never saw it. The first one I didn't find that entertaining to me. Nicolas Cage with a flaming head, I could do without that. and him coming back to it, yeah, there was no chance I was going to actually see this movie. So I would have to abstain and say no.
Yeah, but no, the first movie, I don't know.
I trust you. It's bad.
I don't know what Ryan's talking about. The first was not very good either. But the fact is, the second one, the second one managed to go like under an already bad movie. Robert, what would you say about Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance?
This was my first honorable mention. Interestingly enough, I would have said no. I
Really?
don't think it's in the bottom 7. I think I had an exact number of 7 that were worse. It was my 8th on my list, so I think other stuff deserves to be in there more. But I definitely understand that it is terrible, and I respect that you guys decided to put it on. But I would have said no.
All right. Well, Robert, you get to decide. You get to decide what you want to put on top 7, because it is your bid next, sir.
Alrighty. We gotta talk about Marvel's attempt at a female-led comic book action movie that turned out to be one of the most sexist films I've ever seen, ever, and that's Elektra. 2005's Elektra is a atrocious movie, not only poorly made, poorly written by Mark Steven Johnson, who ruined a couple other heroes that we may get to a little bit later, potentially.
Including Ghost Rider.
Including Ghost Rider, which we did just talk about. Yeah, this is a terrible movie. They tried to make Jennifer Garner an action star, and it did not work. The action just makes you fall asleep. And like I said, it's an extremely sexist movie. So Elektra has to be on this list.
Okay, so anti-Wonder Woman. I'm sorry, Elektra is up for top 7. I'm gonna go to Cody, who didn't get a vote last time. I'm gonna go to you first.
Every time I've seen Elektra, which has only been like since the movie, like when it's playing like on a paid channel when I'm doing something else and I forgot to change the channel, she just looks like in every scene, like when a creepy old man is trying to hit on her at like a checkout, and she just does this like blank stare, like she doesn't want to be there. The people on the film don't want to be there. This movie is awful. It's definitely written in my top 7 because I couldn't agree more with Robert. It is the most sexist movie ever for a female superhero. That's why no one had to mention when they were like, there's no female-led superhero movies. You're correct, because no one wants to talk about Elektra. So, yes, I think it makes top 7.
All right, I'm going to go to John next. John, Elektra, does it make top 7?
Yes, it definitely does. Terrible choreography, just terrible plot. Just put it on. Doesn't skip me. It's bad.
All right, so that settles it. Elektra makes top 7. Now I'm going to be the bad guy here. Elektra's a bad movie. It's really bad. But I might have edged towards no because there are a few that I actually.
Why do you hate women?
Why do I? No.
Do the poll.
I'm not putting on the list. It means I like women. So, yeah, but I had no problem putting it on. But I probably would have edged towards no. Ryan, what would you have said?
Oh man, it's funny. You know, my younger self enjoyed the heck out of this movie because it's Jennifer Garner, and she's a beautiful woman to look at, no question about it, no doubt. Kirsten, I think her name is Kirsten Prout, who was the little girl who was like idolizing Elektra, like the trainee, the new girl on the block, whatever the heck it was. And then you had ER's Goran Viznik. His talent was wasted in a way. Yeah, yeah, Zod. I don't know. To me, I think I would have edged slightly towards no, just because I feel there are 6 other or 5 other films, however many are left that we can throw on this list, that are much worse than Elektra. So I probably would have said no, respectfully.
Well, you can say what you think is worse than Elektra because it is your ballot next, Ryan. So what do you want to put up for top 7?
Well, I don't know if I should go with this one franchise that's been going on for 10 years or go off the beaten path. So.
I can't wait to hear this shit.
Oh, yeah, you're going to love this. You know what? I'm going to go with MCU because MCU is not perfect, ladies and gentlemen. They've had a lot of bumps in the road. Some have been good, some have been bad. I'm going to throw one of those bumps in the road that were just gosh darn terrible. And I'm going to go with Thor Part 2, The Dark World. I think it's one of the worst.
Yeah, I was hoping to go somewhere else.
It's one of the worst sequels that has ever been made in the history of cinematic history. Everyone's talents are wasted. Kat Dennings makes the movie a whole lot worse. A naked Stellan Skarsgård makes the movie a whole lot worse. The villain was just not there. There was no substance. There was no oomph for this movie. There was no purpose for this movie. Thor was not good in this film, among many others. But, yeah, I'm going to throw Thor the Dark World under a big, fat bus and nominate it.
All right, so Ryan wants to throw Thor on a drum Bettis, and Thor the Dark World is up for top 7. I'm going to go first this time. Now, is Thor the Dark World a great movie? No. Is it the worst of the Thor movies? Yeah. But is it an awful... Okay, look, if this is just MCU, so make a list, no question. But seeing that this is all Marvel, the Marvel's brand has done way worse than Thor the Dark World. And, like, there are things I do like about it. I like the end-fight sequences. I don't know why I think Thor's so bad. I like Thor's movie. Yeah, Kat Dennings. Whatever. Whatever. Piece of shit. But I think, like MCU, like, as a whole, the worst the MCU has done is better than most comic franchises will ever do. So I got to give this a no. I'm going to go to Robert next. Robert.
Yeah, Chance kind of stole the words out of my mouth. Thor the Dark World is not a good movie. There are probably 2 MCU movies that are even worse than this one. This isn't even the worst MCU movie. Yeah, Incredible Hulk and Iron Man 2 are both worse than this movie.
I wasn't gonna ask. Yeah, okay. Sure,
this is not the worst of the MCU, but that being said, none of the MCU, in my opinion, belongs on this list. Marvel has done way, way worse than the bad MCU movies.
Oh, I disagree with you 1,000%.
Well, keep in mind also Ryan likes the Resident Evil franchise, so take his opinion with a grain of salt. But either way, we're getting to... I didn't mean to throw Ryan under the bus, but that was just way too easy. That was just way too easy of a shot. And John, going to you next, man. Thor: The Dark World. Does it stay on top? Does it go on top 7 or does it not?
If it was a top 10, I'd consider it. But there's some good moments of that movie that save it. The flying through the air portal scene at the very end, some cool action. So it's a no for me.
All right. Yeah, I could watch Thor: The Dark World Tuesday morning on TNT. And with that, Thor: The Dark World does not make top 7. Cody, what would you have said?
Oh, no. I mean, I would pop that movie in above 15 of the bottom Marvel movies. It's not bad. Does it have Tom Hiddleston in it? Loki's fantastic in the movie. I would watch that over half of these characters on this list. So, yeah, it would not even come close.
All right. Well, you get to list one of those movies you'd watch after Thor: The Dark World right now because it is your bid for top 7.
See, I have a tough choice here because there are 2 from the same franchise. And I think they both could make this top 7.
I think they both will make top 7.
They're really bad. The one that frustrates me the most, and I'll let somebody else talk about it. Either way, if it doesn't get on, I'm okay with it. But I'm going to go with X-Men 3, The Last Stand. As an X-Men fan, they're by far my favorite of all of comics, especially the animated series. I love that to my dying day. But this movie is so bad, especially what it follows. X2 ranks up there in one of the top Marvel movies of all time because X2 is just fantastic. And what do? They take a big pile of dump on one of their best things of Dark Phoenix. They also put Magneto in a woods when he can manipulate metal, which makes no sense whatsoever. Let's put the guy that can take metal, but we're going to put him in the forest because that's a great hangout for him. It's terrible. It's terrible written. They don't know what they're doing half the time. I'm just so thankful for Days of Future Past for erasing this garbage from the timeline. I nominate Last Stand to be on the list.
All right, so X-Men: The Last Stand is up for voting. I'm going to go to Ryan first this time. Ryan.
Oh boy. Here come the hater comments.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
They're already here, Ryan. Man, look, keep going.
Yeah, no, I'm going to defend this one, and I'm going to defend this one pretty good because this was long before I started reading X-Men comics. Granted, I did see the Dark Phoenix saga on the animated television series of the greatest decade of them all, known as the 1990s, and I love that to pieces. When they did it in movie form, it didn't bother me. I wasn't strongly connected to those characters as I am now, in a way, anyway. So I enjoyed it for what it was. Does it have a few flaws? Absolutely. Is it a perfect film? No. But I still enjoy the heck out of it. I still count it as part of the trilogy. It's still a part of the X-Men legacy for me anyway. I enjoy it. So for me, it's a 100% no, because there are a lot of good moments in this movie that overtake the negativity that is present in this film. So X3 does not make the list for me.
All right. So that's a vote against X3. So I'm gonna go to John next. John, X-Men 3: The Last Stand.
All right, so this one's tough for me because it's right hovering in the middle for me. It's like almost so bad that it's good. Where like I can remember the "on the Juggernaut bitch" line over and over again, and just I'm gonna have to say no. Just for some of the funny moments, it outshines it just enough for not to make my top 7.
All right, wow, this is not where I thought it was going to go. It's 2 votes for X-Men: The Last Stand.
Thor: The Dark World was up for nomination, but Last Stand. Okay.
Hold on. No, it's still alive.
Still
alive. So, Robert, X-Men: The Last Stand.
I'm with you, Cody. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, Last Stand. There are a few funny lines, but there's also "Who's running, dickhead?" And there's suddenly now class ranks of mutants that nobody above here is above a class 3, except that we didn't know about till now. We get 2 main character deaths that do not pay off at all whatsoever. We get a mutant cure that's being weaponized. We get a ruining of Magneto's character when he says, "Let the pawns go first." That's not who Magneto is. Magneto's about the brotherhood of mutants. He's not about sacrificing the people who he doesn't see on the same level as him. That's just ridiculous. This absolutely needs to be on this list.
I knew I liked Robert for a reason.
God damn it. All right, you brought it to me. Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dick. All right. So, well, I should be thanking you. I should be thanking John and Ryan for putting me in this position. Okay, so X-Men 3 is not a good movie. Brett Ratner is an overrated hack, although he's not very overrated because he's a garbage director and a garbage person, I might add. I will say, Hugh Jackman's always a delight. "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch" is a good line. I'm sorry, it's a bad line, but I really enjoy it. And what gives me credit in that it is the first time in an X-Men movie, probably one of the only times since, that we see a true X-Men action sequence where it's like 5 or 6 of them throwing down together. However, I am going to edge towards yes, because you are right in that Brett Ratner did take everything that we know the X-Men to be and just threw it out the window. So yeah. X3, despite the fact that the franchise has done far worse, I will give it that in for top 7. Don't know if I make top 5, but I'll give it top 7. So X-Men 3: The Last Stand makes top 7, and we bring voting back to me. This is a tough one, actually. This is a very tough one. And there's another movie I wanted to pitch, but I'm pretty sure someone will do it later. But the one I want to pitch
next. There's only 3 spots left. Don't ride your don't bet too much.
Don't pull a Christmas vacation.
I will be surprised if it doesn't make it. But the one I do want to give, so we've already tackled like a bunch of corners of Marvel. One we have not touched is the man, the web crawler, the Spider-Man. And the one I want to pitch is, yesterday we had a pretty sweet trailer drop for a little movie called Venom. And which is good to see from the depth of this character because we saw an awful portrayal of him in Spider-Man 3, which is an absolutely garbage movie. Because look, the Spider-Man 1, great. Spider-Man 2, even better. But then you go to Spider-Man 3. I mean, this is one of the first movies to like bring this trend back of, oh, let's have 5 villains. Let's throw in Venom last minute. Tope was played by Eric Foreman from that 70s show for no reason. But yeah, like so many things pay off. They had that stupid dance sequence in the middle for no reason. Emo Parker, Tobey Maguire has never been more whiny, more punchable. So I think Spider-Man 3 should absolutely, worst Spider-Man franchise ever done, should absolutely be on top 7. Sam Raimi, you're better than this. I don't blame you. I blame the studio. The studio bullied Sam Raimi to making this god-awful movie. All right, I'm going to go to, rant over. I'm going to go to Cody first. Cody.
Oh, well, I was kind of hoping you'd say another Spider-Man movie.
This one hurt me more.
I understand. I understand how it hurt you. Because the other one's just a cluster. Oh, it's terrible. I agree.
Practically the same movie.
See, that's the problem. Like,
the other one does it worse, though.
As I went into this, I said there are 2 from one franchise and pretty much 2 from another, just separated, that could both make this list hands down. With 3 spots left and crappy left, I'm going to say no because I think the other one does it worse. And that's just my honest opinion. Right. Because I will explain it when somebody nominates it.
Yeah,
Robert, I'm pointing to you.
If that one comes up, you can explain that later. But that's 1 vote against Spider-Man 3. Gonna go to Ryan next. Ryan, Spider-Man 3, does it make top 7?
Now look, I agree with all your points. I think this movie is one of the worst superhero films to ever come out. It did a huge disservice to the character I grew up with on the Fox Kids 90s animated series known as Spider-Man, who kicks a lot of ass on that show. Yeah, this movie's bad. However, there's a certain Spider-Man movie that is 1,000 degrees worse than this one, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. So with that fact, I'm going to have to say no for Spider-Man 3 and wait until another certain film gets nominated. Or who knows, maybe by happenstance another one of my weirdo movies will make the list. But for now, Spider-Man 3 is a no, Your Honor.
Well, newsflash to the jury: Thor: The Dark World makes top 7. Spider-Man does not for Ryan Permison. Going to I know he's gonna say it. Ryan, Robert, going to you next.
Yeah, this is actually kind of a tough call for me. I definitely agree with a lot of the points that you said, as far as things that are done poorly in this movie. I do kind of like New Goblin in this movie, and I do kind of like Sandman in this movie. The Venom is hashed and atrocious and just terrible. The
dance sequence.
It was so behind the scenes. It was my number 7, but y'all put Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance on this list, and you said the wrong Spider-Man movie. So I gotta say no.
Dude, God damn it! All right, fine. Spider-Man 3 does not make top 7. We'll fight about it in the Spider-Man movie later, Dennis, I'm sure. John, what would you have said?
Honestly, I was leaning towards no, but your argument, Chance, it's so memeable that I probably would have said yes. I would have flipped on this one.
It doesn't matter anymore, but doesn't matter. At least that's why it's somebody. But come on, John, you're next.
All right. Oh, let's see. Okay, well, since we're already on the subject of Spider-Man, I might as well bring it up. Well, when you cast Jamie Foxx in a movie, and he's good in some other movies, just not The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So that's my nomination. Take it to the floor. Right, so. Deserves to be on this list.
All right, and the time for debate has not come yet. So we're going to you. So, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is up for voting, and I'm gonna go to me first, and because I am probably the only person on this panel that's gonna give this one a no. I will fight this over Spider-Man 3 any day of the week. The chemistry and the scene between Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone are better than absolutely anything in Spider-Man 3. That at least redeems me for me. Andrew Garfield's far more. I find Andrew Garfield far more watchable as Spider-Man Peter Parker than Tobey Maguire in any facet of that trilogy. Yeah, I said it. Give me some hate. Give me some hate in the comments. But Yeah, sure. Electro, bad. Dane DeHaan, fine until he goes all meth mouth. Paul Giamatti, kind of entertaining, but the fact that he is a cartoon. But either way, I think there's more redeemable qualities in this movie than Spider-Man 3. I'm probably going to stand on this hill alone. But I'm going to give this one a no. Going to go to Cody. Next, Cody.
Oh, this is the one that I had to pick because, gosh, this is every time I think of Jamie Foxx glowing blue and saying the ridiculous lines he says, it kills me. Me, when I go into a Spider-Man movie, I don't care that much about the chemistry between the two as much as I want to see like cohesive action and like reasons behind why he does what he does. And that was like they were all sitting in a boardroom and goes, well, we got this villain, and we got this one. And we can throw Paul Giamatti in a Russian accent and a metal suit at the end, and he could be the Rhino. This sounds like a great movie. And then we got
Paul Giamatti.
So I can't stand this movie. I was half asleep in the movie near the end, and then when Emma Stone, spoiler alert, meets her, and the whole theater gasped and like, oh my gosh, I was like, you guys are still awake? I'm really confused because this movie is bad. It deserves the top 7.
You really want to say MJ is better than Gwen Stacy at anything in any of those movies?
Chance, I would have put this on the list, but you put Spirit of Vengeance on the list, and it was on my top 7. And I'm sorry, Ghost Rider, you should have just avoided.
Sorry, fine. Maybe that's my mistake. Maybe that's my mistake. Spider-Man 2 and copy Spider-Man 3. But either way, Ryan, going to you next.
Yeah, duh. Yeah, this is 1,000% yes. It's one of the worst superhero films of all time. It's one of the It's definitely a heck of a lot worse, at least in my opinion, anyway, than Spider-Man 3. You messed up with the villains. You did them a terrible disservice because they did it so much better on the animated series in the 1990s. So even with the crazy Electro suit, I know you have to modernize that, and even they couldn't pull that off in Amazing Spider-Man Part 2. So yeah, you're a crappy movie. You never should have existed. I wipe this movie from my memory forever because to me that is not Spider-Man. Period. So this is a 100% yes, Your Honor. This makes the list.
For the record, I will say that I don't think this is a good movie, but I still think it's better than Spider-Man 3, which is just god awful. But either way, Amazing Spider-Man 3, wishful thinking. Amazing Spider-Man 2 has made the top 7. I said the wrong title twice. What's wrong?
Thank God there's no third.
Robert. Thank God. Oh well, I don't know. It's not. I don't blame Mark Webb. Robert, what would you have said?
I absolutely 100% would have said yes. This is the worst Spider-Man movie. This is trying to do everything that Spider-Man 3 did, but it did it worse. Dane DeHaan is a decent actor, but he is terrible in this movie. Paul Giamatti is terrible in this movie. Jamie Foxx is a good actor, Academy Award-winning actor. Is not a nerd. Is not Electro. Is not Max
Dillon.
Dillon.
The nerd face and the Max Dillon
You can't give Jamie Foxx slicked back hair with blueprints designing a power grid. That just doesn't work. No, absolutely not. This would have absolutely not.
I want to watch that. I want to watch that now that we talk about it. All right, but either way, Robert, you get the next bid, and we're going to you next.
All right. So there are 2 spots left. I'm going to go for a little bit of a dark horse instead of the obvious last pick. Out of what the resurgence of Marvel movies in the late 90s and early 2000s, there were 3 major trilogies. You had the X-Men trilogy, the Spider-Man trilogy, and you had the Blade trilogy.
I tackled 2 of those.
Blade Trinity is an absolutely terrible movie. You have this disease that they're creating called Daystar, which is going to instantly kill all the vampires in the world. You have Jessica Biel, who is terrible in this movie. You have Patton Oswalt, who is in this movie. He's bad in this movie. Ryan Reynolds is getting quippy just so he can get his Deadpool role, and that's terrible. They literally fight Dracula. Like, literally, you have Blade fist fighting Dracula. the visuals are the worst of the trilogy, which is saying something because the visuals in the original Blade are terrible. Blade Trinity deserves to be in the top 7.
All right, so Blade Trinity is up for top 7. I'm gonna go to John first. John.
All right. So for me, Blade Trinity is a no for the top 7, and here's why. When I saw the first Blade for the first time, it was so ridiculous that I loved it, and it kept its ridiculousness throughout all 3 of the movies, in my opinion. And just something about it is like tongue-in-cheek for me, so I can't put it on my bottom 7, but I respect you putting it there.
All right, so that's 1 vote against Blade Trinity. I'm gonna go to Cody next. Cody.
It was actually going to be my next nomination. Me and Robert are perfectly in sync tonight on what we think bad Marvel movies are. Yes, I was Jessica Biel thinking she could be an actress star. Ryan Reynolds trying to be what he is. Wesley Snipes doesn't want to be in this movie anymore either. You can just see it all over his face. There's even reports of how hard he was to work with on the set of Blade Trinity. That's why there's no more Wesley Snipes, really. He doesn't do much movies anymore. The movie's bad. I'm with Robert. I rewatched it not that long ago. The special effects are terrible in this movie. And Blade 1 has, I thought, the worst, but until we saw this one. So, yes, I would vote for it to make top 7.
That is 2 to make top 7, 1 vote against that. I'm going to go next. Blade Trinity is not good. It's really not. I agree with a lot of points. I'm going to get this no, but not hurt me as much. I think are far more offensively bad than Blade Trinity. So I'm going to give Blade Trinity a no.
That's totally.
And so Reigns Ryan is the deciding vote. Does it make top 7 or no?
For Blade Trinity, I would say no, because I actually enjoyed this one a heck of a lot more than I enjoyed the second one.
What?
Really?
Yeah, because the second one was a dark, moody, depressing film. It makes you just want to jump off a cliff. It's so depressing. There's no happy ending. There's no fun in Blade 2 compared to the third one. So for me, I would have said no, because I like Blade Trinity. I do. I like it a heck of a lot more than the second installment. Granted, the first installment is still the best, but the third one, way better for me than the second.
Blade 2 is an amazing Guillermo del Toro movie.
Well, it's depressing.
Okay,
is what it is.
we can fight Blade later, but Blade Trinity does not make top 7. And we're going, I could have seen it being on there.
I was hoping it would sneak on. I was hoping. I knew Cody had it, and I was hoping that just like one more person might be able to sneak it on. But that's fine. There's not. It's not like we're out of things that could be on this list.
No. We have plenty.
We're nowhere near close to being out, and I might regret this later down the line, but either way, we're going to Ryan. Ryan next. Wow us, buddy.
Here we go.
Guardians. Well, clearly everyone thinks the MCU, even its worst films, are better than anything else. So I won't even touch the gospel known as the MCU, because apparently you love all 18,000 of those movies. So I'll leave those alone. I'll go with a different one.
I'm hoping you go with another hot, spicy take.
Or don't.
No, because I already tried one of my MCU cards and it failed miserably, so I don't want to be constituted as another failure again. So anyway, let's go with a film that is not part of the MCU, is completely separate from anything else that is separate from that. This is a movie that it looked good on paper. It was okay in some scenes, but on a rewatch and looking at it as a whole, it just doesn't work overall as a film. And I'm going to go with Ang Lee's 2003 version of the Hulk. I'm going to go with Hulk with, Eric Bana, Jennifer Connelly, a whole bunch of other actors known as Josh Lucas and
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott, thank you. That was the name I was looking for. Thank you. Oh, and Nick Nolte.
Ghost Rider.
Thank you. So, yeah, I'm going to nominate Hulk because to me, Hulk is the worst of the 2 Hulk films we've gotten, because to me, The Incredible Hulk is a great film, whereas Ang Lee's Hulk is complete garbage. So I'm going to go with Hulk and nominate it for this round.
All right, so 2003, Ang Lee's contemplative stare at Bush Hulk is up for top 7. gonna go to Robert first. Okay, no, Robert, you're first up.
Yeah, that's interesting. Hulk wasn't even on my honorable mentions. I don't think it's that bad of a movie. I think there's a lot else that could be on this list. I see some of the arguments that you're making about, like, I could see why you might think it could be on this list, and I understand where that's coming from, but for me personally, it's not anywhere near my top 7. It's not near my top probably 15.
All right, so that's 1 no for Hulk. I'm gonna go to John next. John, Ang Lee's Hulk, does it make top 7?
It's a no for me. I personally put this on the same level as the other Hulk. I mean, the Incredible Hulk is definitely a lot better, but this one's nowhere near the bottom for me.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go to me next. And look, Paul, I know you're watching this. I don't care what you say. Hulk is not a good movie. It's a boring mess that's edited super crappily. Look, as much as I love Nick Nolte being crazy and anything, it's really not good. Especially that scene where he's standing outside of, like, the apartment with just 3 dogs for no reason at all. But at the same time, I think Marvel has done far worse. And look, as much as I don't like Hulk, I can't put it on. So no, Hulk does not make top 7. Cody, what would you have said about Ang Lee's Hulk?
It wouldn't have made mine. I love Nick Nolte. Just have him going crazy and screaming. I've always wanted him to be like a sitcom dad that screams like that constantly because he just cracks me up uncontrollably. For a movie, I find it boring. I won't say that it's not boring. I think the movie is not that good for me. It's like it just proves that Hulk can't really be just a standalone movie, because it's kind of like watching a tornado movie. All you wanted to do is watch it tear up cities, and there's no really stopping until he stops being green. So other than that, and we don't want to see like Scarlet Witch like calm him down anymore. So like for that, he just needs to be a standalone, but it wouldn't have made the top 7 of.
All right, well, Cody, you are the last one to not go yet, so you have the floor, sir.
Okay. So I thought that maybe the other one would get nominated by now, because I wanted both of them from there. To me, there is like a few standouts in this movie, but other than that, this movie is garbage. That is X-Men Origin Wolverine. Guys, wow. This movie is dog crap. The CGI department doesn't even care about this movie, because if you don't believe me, go back and watch where he's in the bathroom with his claws. Those are the worst CGI claws I've ever seen in any movie ever. Sabretooth, everybody always tells me that he's one of the bright spots. Well, guess what? That's one bright spot in this terrible movie. They took the one thing cool about Deadpool and silenced him. There's this weird overarching movie about there's about 10-15 minutes of Wolverine and I can't think of the actress's name talking about the moon and him being a lumberjack and all this junk. It is awful. I don't find this movie entertaining at all, and I'm glad that they just stopped what they were doing with the origin movies, and they were like, you know what, we'll just go back to doing other movies, because this killed it. I nominate X-Men Origins Wolverine for top 7.
Okay, so just a quick fact check on your end. So the actress who played Silver Fox in that movie is Lynn Collins.
Oh, thank you.
Lynn Collins. And also another fact check. This is supposed to kick off a whole like X-Men Origins mini franchise, and that was supposed to be X-Men Origins Magneto, but because X-Men Origins Wolverine is so bad, they canceled that. So X-Men Origins Wolverine is up for top 7. Ryan, going to you.
Wow. Interesting pick. I can understand why. It has flaws. It has problems. Agreed. However.
Oh no.
However.
Man that wanted Thor the Dark World.
That's right, because the MCU is not perfect, son. Look it up on the internet.
We're not saying it is. We're just saying that there's worse.
No. MCU's done pretty bad. But anyway, however, Your Honor, I like revenge movies. I like revenge stories, and this movie is about pure vengeance, pure anger, pure hate, and I love that. I feed off of the anger and aggression in this movie. And second of all, are the CGI special effects bad? Absolutely, I'll agree with you. But, however, I don't like the character of Deadpool. I never have and I never will. And I like the fact that they've sewn his mouth shut so I didn't have to hear his stupid comments. I don't like this character. I never cared for it. And I like the movie. I enjoy it. It's one of my favorite. It's not like my top 3 X-Men movies. It's not. It's not nowhere near that. However, it is one of my more enjoyable X-Men movies, or at least semi-X-Men movies, however you want to call it. I liked what they did, even though he had limited screen time with Gambit. Taylor Kitsch, I think, did a really good job with the limited amount of screen time that he had. And I dig the coat, son. I dig the coat, Taylor. You look good, man. But anyway.
Will.i.am?
No.
It
doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. None of that stuff bothers me. So for me, I enjoy this movie. So for X-Men Origins Wolverine, for this particular list, I'm going to have to say no.
People want to know why I have Ryan Permison on. This is why, because I like showing up controversy. But so that's one vote to keep X-Men Origins Wolverine off the top 7. Going to go to John next. John.
So this is my number 3 worst movie. You brought it up, Chance. This was supposed to be like a series of origin movies. I think Storm was also on the bucket for this. And even though Halle Berry is not a really good Storm, I would have been cool to see an origin story for her. So for them killing that idea, this is on my list.
All right. And I'm going to go to Robert next. That's one vote. Robert, do you want to put it away, or are we going to keep going?
I mean, Cody and I have been in sync this entire night. This is absolutely on this list. This is the worst X-Men movie. Liev Schreiber is fine in this movie. Dominic Monaghan from Lord of the Rings is actually in this movie in like the first 10 minutes. Yes, I really enjoy that. Taylor Kitsch is fine in this movie, but Lynn Collins is terrible. Will.i.am is terrible. Danny Houston is terrible. Kevin Durand is terrible. And it's not just the acting. There's a scene towards the end where Professor X, Patrick Stewart's Professor X, is walking. Like, what? Which is, like, first off, I get that this was made before First Class, but that just doesn't make sense that Patrick Stewart's Professor X should be walking. But yeah, this movie, and then, like, Wolverine gets his head shot with an adamantium bullet, and somehow that makes his memories go away, but his body can still survive. What the hell is this movie? This absolutely needs to be on this list.
So that closes it. X-Men Origins Wolverine makes top 7. Going to me, I think. Okay, look. First of all, I think Hugh Jackman's trying his best. I really like Liev Schreiber in this movie. I think Will.i.am gets too much hate in this movie. I don't mind Will.i.am. He's got a nice little cowboy hat. He's fine. But yeah, no, this movie is an absolute and you also do get a good Ryan Reynolds performance, which he was actually genuinely good. But funny story about this movie for me at least. So I was in San Antonio when this movie came out, and I had like a really nice IMAX theater there, and I was supposed to we were going to go see. A big group was going to go see Star Trek. Star Trek was sold out, so we saw this instead.
Oh,
that's a hard. That was hard. That was harsh. That was really bad. And yeah, X-Men Origins. I don't know what Ryan watched, but this absolutely deserves to be on top 7. This is absolutely the worst X-Men movie. So yeah, I'm fine with it being on. So now we come back to me, and this is hard now. This is hard for me because there's so many other ones. And okay, you know what? I got to go with this one. I got to go with the originator of the Marvel movies. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna go with that one. It's actually hard because we're kind of screaming about what they're on there. Let's talk about Logan, guys. No, I'm kidding. I gotta go with this one. I gotta go with the originator, the OG of Marvel movies. 1986 is Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck is so. I mean, like it's super cheesy, but like the cheese factor doesn't help this movie. Like it's like the effects are laughably bad. Quack Fu is ridiculous. It has duck boobs, which adds so much confusion to the world and to me. I still don't understand as a 20-year-old man. Yeah, just Howard the Duck is atrocious. And look, I don't care what Mark Borg says. I think it should be on top 7 worst. I'm gonna go to Cody first. Cody.
Well, I'm gonna have to disdain because I've heard it was bad. I just never got around to watching it. I understand that it probably would make the list, but I would feel wrong voting that way. So I'll let you guys decide that one. Because nope, not gonna watch it. Still won't watch it.
Come on, man. Duck boobs are in this movie. So
even more of a reason I won't watch this movie. Thank you.
Everything. All right, going to Robert next. Robert.
All right. This is really interesting. This is on my honorable mentions. It was not in my original list. A couple of mine from my original list did not make it on, but there is still one more movie that I think deserves to be on over Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck is not a great movie, but there's one more that needs to be on here instead, so I'm going to say no.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. I'm going to go to Ryan next. Ryan.
Oh boy, you know, Cody and I are kind of in the same ballpark. We don't watch bad movies, so this is a movie.
You watch Resident Evil in the theater. Don't tell me you don't watch bad movies.
Hey, they're guilty pleasures, son. Lay off my guilty pleasures.
You paid money for that?
Oh, I paid. Let me tell you something, son. I paid money for 5 of those movies. Okay. 5 of them.
Oh God, what's wrong with you?
I think it was 5. No, I take that back. It was 4, and I enjoyed all 4 of them. So don't knock me for my guilty pleasures.
All right.
Okay, fine. So I guess it falls on John.
But anyway,
no, I understand.
Yeah, but anyway, I would have abstained / said no because I haven't seen the movie. I've seen bits and pieces of it. And granted, Leah Thompson herself couldn't save this movie, and she still looks pretty in real life at the age of X whatever year she is. But yeah, I haven't seen this movie, so I don't care. So for me, this would have been a no / abstain.
Actually, I just realized Robert said no, so that settles it, which I kind of expected, but I just want to throw Howard the Duck in there. Mostly to piss off Mark, who I know will probably watch it on the rewind. But either way, Howard the Duck does not make top 7. John, what would you have said?
Man, it's a bad movie. I would have put yes. Honestly, this movie is so bad. Just the time traveling from different planets. It just was graphics were crap. And I mean, I get it. It was the night 86, but it was bad.
Same year Top Gun came out, had awesome graphics. Didn't have graphics. I'm just saying words. But either way, John, we're back to you.
Oh, it's on me. Damn. All right.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's time to end it off where we kind of started off and go back to the first family of Marvel. And I'm going to put with Rise of the Silver Surfer. Just one of the greatest villains. Just a floating thing coming to eat our world. I mean, no, not good.
All right. So, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer is up for top 7. Jesus Christ. Okay, so the first Fantastic Four is not good, not by any stretch of the imagination. However, the second one managed to be worse. I mean, you have Silver Surfer as this just you could have replaced Silver Surfer with a house plant. It wouldn't have made him any more. Like it would probably be just as interesting. And I had to think about it for a second, but you're right. I mean, they waste Galactus as this like super, just like boring like space fart. Yeah. So
perfect.
Yeah. No.
Perfect.
Which they later reused in Green Lantern. So I'm gonna give this one a yes. And Cody,
Space Fart. I love it. Space Fart. Oh, perfect.
Which one? Who? Me?
Yeah, you, Cody.
Cody.
Just say it. Yeah, just say yes so we can all go home.
I don't feel like it needs to be on here.
It has to be on here. Come on, man.
Well, Ryan just gave away his vote.
Well, Ryan just gave away. So I guess, it will just, no offense, for me, it'll be an easy knockoff at 7. But I don't believe that this one should be on there. I mean, what did they have going into the second one even to make anybody stick around and watch it? And yes, they ruined Galactus, but guess what? They ruined a lot of other things in these movies too. So that's not the one I left from.
That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
I would have said no, but you can send it to Ryan, or you can go to Robert and then watch Ryan just tell us exactly.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to Robert first, just because I already know where Ryan's going. I don't want to get into it. Robert. And that's the Silver Surfer.
I'm on the same level as Cody. I would have said no. It is in my honorable mentions. It's not a good movie. There is another Marvel movie that I think is very much worse than this that deserves to be on here instead, but it's not going to make it. So we'll talk about it in a second in honorable mentions.
All right. So I guess Ryan, to put this away.
You already know my vote. I would have said yes. I would have added this to the list because to me, the first Fantastic Four with that cast is like Citizen Kane compared to the second one. So, it's not
I would
much
not go that far.
Oh, yes, I would.
Ryan, yes, he would.
Yes, I would. Because I enjoyed that movie a heck of a lot more than I enjoyed the second one. I mean, the wig on Jessica Alba in the second one, good God, that's bad. It's just terrible. So for me, I would have said yes for Silver Surfer, but then the first one, I was okay with that one because I didn't know who the Fantastic Four were at the time. So, yeah, I would have said yes, but obviously it doesn't make the list. So let's move on with our lives.
No, it does. It does.
Oh, it does make the list?
Yeah, your yes makes it make the list.
You're the deciding vote.
Oh, snaps. Okay, well then, yeah, it's a yes. Great, I win.
So that's it. We have our top 7. We can go over our mentions now. I'll mention for me. There's not a lot. I really don't like X-Men Apocalypse, although I think we have the two X-Men movies that are infinitely worse. Dolph Lundgren Punisher is not great. Daredevil, I guess. There's not really a whole lot left that we can go over. Cody, anything else you want to throw out that maybe I'm missing?
Me.
Cody, any
every time you say my name, I always miss it. Sorry. I would have said Daredevil. I think Daredevil should have been on the list. That movie's bad. Colin Farrell with that bullseye on his head. It's terrible. I'm also the Punisher. Not that it's a terrible movie.
Which Punisher?
John Travolta.
Tom Jane.
Tom James, yeah.
Yeah. John Travolta as a bad guy is just comical to me. Because the last time he was a bad guy was Pulp Fiction for me. Like, no one believed you. And they had like a random Kevin Nash as the Russian in that movie. It was so bad of a movie. And I guess Warzone.
I actually don't. The movie's not good, but I don't mind Thomas Jane as the Punisher.
No, he's not.
No, I don't mind him. It's fine.
Ray Stevenson is better.
Sure, I guess. But John Bernthal is better than both. Robert, any other mentions?
I'm pretty sure Cody and I had the exact same list.
We did.
We had the exact same. Yeah, Daredevil was the one that needed to be on here instead of a couple others, in my opinion. Although Daredevil does have a great soundtrack that I really, really like.
Oh my God, the classic like 2000s.
Yeah, it has a lot of Evanescence songs. Unfortunately, Daredevil is a terrible movie. And Daredevil needed to be on this list. Then the other two honorable mentions I had were Iron Man 2. That's the only MCU one that I even think was worth an honorable mention. And then 2004 is Punisher, kind of for the reasons Cody said.
We were in sync.
Travolta's not a great mob boss. You don't buy him at all. Rebecca Romijn is not good in that movie. Ben Foster's not good in that movie. I don't hate it, but it's worth an honorable mention. And Warzone's great. Nobody should ever diss Warzone.
I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, I should see him on shows more often because you guys seem to be like syncing.
Yeah, we had the exact same.
You guys seem to be synchronized. One I forgot to mention is let's see if either John or Ryan brings it up. Ryan, any honorable mentions for you, sir?
Well, clearly there's a bromance going on between Robert and Cody over here. Maybe we should just leave him be. But
bromance with you and freaking Resident Evil. Shut your mouth.
What can I say, man? I enjoy those movies. Give me a break for what they are. What I would have said, besides the one that we mentioned earlier, which was, I believe it was Ang Lee's Hulk, half of the MCU I would have thrown on there, but I won't mention those titles because I'll let the audience figure that out for themselves.
No, please do.
Please do. No, please do. We'll let you go for it.
What MCU movies should be on this list, Ryan?
Okay, well, obviously Thor: The Dark World, that didn't get on there. That's fine. Hold on a second there, Johnny boy. Thor 2, The Dark World, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Guardians 1, Guardians 2.
Wrong.
What else am I missing? Thor Ragnarok.
I'm gonna send Nick Nolte to your house to yell at you.
No, I don't care. I don't care. Avengers: Age of Ultron, yes. Avengers: Age of Ultron is on there.
Oh my God.
And last but not least, Captain America: The First Avenger.
Can you honestly tell me any of
that's
those
where I
movies
draw
worse
the
than
line.
any of these?
What was that?
Can you honestly tell me any of those movies is worse than any of these?
No, but
None of those are worse than the 7 we have on our list.
Objectively, personal by the side. Can you tell me that any of those movies is worse than any of these in the top 7?
Not all of them, but a few.
God damn it. You're a crazy person.
debatable.
You're a crazy person. I freaking love you for it.
Hey,
And
you asked the question, so
John, any honorable mentions?
Guardians 1.
yeah, that's right. Oh, and I almost forgot Deadpool. I would throw that on there too.
Oh no!
For honorable mentions, I really don't got any. I mean, we kind of hit them all. I mean,
Although no, one we really forgot is 1990s Captain America.
Oh yeah, I would have mentioned that too.
That wasn't theatrically released though. I thought
it was a TV movie.
I would have
Oh,
mentioned that though.
I did not have a theatrical release. That's why I didn't mention it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
that's
fine. That's fair. It's all good. Okay, either way. But
The
still,
only one
bad
from
movie.
back then I would have put is the Dolph Lundgren one.
The
Dolph
Punisher,
Lundgren
yeah.
Punisher.
Yeah,
That's the
89
only
was
one
Punisher.
by the worst. But either way, we have our top 7s by Ryan's projections. We have Fantastic, Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, Elektra, X-Men 3: The Last Stand, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, X-Men Origins Wolverine, and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Man, this is a steaming crop of bad movies. I think we can all agree.
Yes.
Can you go over that list one more time?
Yeah. Fantastic, Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, Elektra, X-Men 3: The Last Stand, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, X-Men Origins Wolverine, and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. So yeah, we have this crop of movies now. We have 7. We gotta get down to 5, so we gotta cut 2 because that's how math works. So now this works the opposite of round 1. We all will go around and nominate what we think should get off the top 7 until we get a top 5. So we have to cut 2 of these movies. We'll go around until we get 2 cuts. So I'm going to let Ryan get the first cut. I think it should be interesting. Ryan.
I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh at this. So something to take off this list. Gosh, a lot of these movies are bad. What should not be in this list? Okay, I'm gonna go with. Oh boy, what should be off this list? There's so many of these. I'll go with X-Men 3: Last Stand.
Wrong.
All right,
Dude, you're asking the question. Give me my answer. There's only
I
two
asked
things.
you nothing, good sir. I asked you nothing.
Oh, this is great. Okay, so X-Men 3: The Last Stand is on the chopping block. I'm gonna go to who put this one on? I think this is Cody. No, Cody put it on.
Oh, okay. I see.
I put on both X-Men.
X3, does it stay or does it go?
Oh, absolutely not. This movie stays on the list. It's terrible.
All right, so that's okay. We may not get anywhere with this. All right, Robert, X3, does it stay or does it go?
It stays.
Thanks,
All right,
Robert.
then John, does it stay or does it go?
If we're calling Wolverine, the X-Men Origins Wolverine, the worst X-Men movie, I feel like Last Stand's got to be the one that gets kicked off the list. So it's out for me.
All right, so this responsibility falls on my shoulder.
Again.
Now I'm not saying this is a good movie, not by any stretch of the imagination. But looking at this entire list, I think this had. Wait, shit.
Yeah, look
Come
closer.
on, look at what else is on this
closer.
list.
Yeah, no, hold on. I'm thinking now, because there are 3. Okay, look, there are 3 that are questionable for me.
And X-Men Last Stand is not one of them.
No, it is actually.
Robert will have your side.
It is actually. I'm actually questioning Last Stand now. That I think
Really?
about
That's
it.
interesting.
Because there are 4, I think, absolute locks and 3 questionables, but this is one of them. I'm going to have some faith that these other 2 are going to get brought up. I may regret this, but I think X3 stays on.
There we
So
go.
X3 is locked. So I'm going to, which means I have faith that you guys knock this one off. Now, looking at the rest of this, I think the most redeemable movie out of all of these for that was hands down Amazing Spider-Man 2. Maybe Spider-Man 2 should not be anywhere near this top 7. I don't want anywhere to begin with. Spider-Man 3, I would have had an argument, but maybe Spider-Man 2, not nearly as bad as any of these. It's not top 5 bad, not even close. So I think Spider-Man 2 should not be on this list. And I believe John put this on. So John made Spider-Man 2. Does it stay or does it go?
When you're comparing it to the other movies, I think it's gotta stay.
Really? All right, fine. So that's one vote for main Spider-Man 2 to stay. Going to Ryan, main Spider-Man 2. Does it stay or does it go?
It's the worst Spider-Man movie of all time, and it's a disgrace to humanity. So yes, it needs to stay on the top 5.
But
so
is it worse than any? Is it worse than any of the?
You asked him the question, son. You asked him the question.
God damn it! All right.
It stays on the list, man.
Robert doesn't stay.
Absolutely stays on. This is not one of the question ones. This stays on this list.
Yes, Robert and I agree
God
for once in our lives.
Why do people hate this movie so much? Whatever. Fine. Main Spider-Man stays. It's locked in the top 5. I would have taken it off. Cody, what would you have said? Cody, what would you have said?
Hands down, got to stay on this list because Jamie Foxx is glowing blue. He's going to glow blue all the way.
Electric eels.
Don't you know? I'm
electric power. Oh, terrible.
God.
Terrible.
Okay.
Emma
Well,
died for
this makes our job significantly harder. Cody, I'm going to give you the next cut. Cody, you get the next cut.
Oh, next cut. Thank you. Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. You guys going into the second one with Nick Cage glowing fire off his head. What did you expect? This movie was not going to be good, but it's not worse than these ones on the list. This one should have been straight to DVD, so you shouldn't even watched it. So I vote this one to be cut off because it didn't make my list.
I'm getting my vote first. And okay, look, did I take my time the first one? No. Did I expect much from the Emoji Movie? No. Was it a piece of shit? Yes. I don't give a shit about expectations. It doesn't matter about expectations to me. What matters is the quality of the product. And the quality of Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance is not good. So no, it stays on. And John, you put it on. So do you knock it off or does it stay or does it go?
I think it's gotta stay. I mean, the straight to DVD thing, yes, that's probably what should have happened with this movie, but it still went to wide release. So for those reasons, it needs to stay on this list. It's a movie.
It is a movie that is really bad. Ryan, Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. Does it stay or does it go?
Oh man, one of Nick Cage's worst films of all time. It's got to stay on the list, son.
Look at everything else on this list, though, guys.
Robert, I have assessed this list, and for now, Ghost Rider Part 2, Spirit of Vengeance.
There is no for now. It's now or never.
Whatever, Russ. Whatever. Ghost Rider 2 stays on this list, and that's a fact, Jack.
So Ghost Rider stays. Wow.
Ghost Rider stays. I know what Robert would have said, but
it absolutely it has no place on this list. Yeah.
All right. Well, Robert, what would you knock off?
Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Thank you.
We already have the worst Fantastic Four movie on here. Silver Surfer is not a good movie, but it's not in the top 5 compared to what else we have.
Okay, so Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer is on the chopping block. And I'll ratify. I'll give us one a vote. Yeah, this shouldn't be on. This shouldn't be on top 5. Now, there's half the movies that are gonna be on top 5, but this shouldn't be on top 5. So I'm gonna give this one a knock off. Cody, does the stairs go?
Oh, it's gone. The other there's a worse Fantastic Four on our list, so it needs to go. It shouldn't have made the list to begin with. No offense to everybody.
All right, so we finally have a movie to get knocked off of this list. Ryan, what would you say about Fantastic Four?
Does it matter? Anyway.
No, it doesn't, but you
asked me the question, son.
Doesn't matter. Oh, you're stealing my... Whatever.
I'm going to get a T-shirt made with it on. Don't worry.
What would I have said? I would have... Rise of the Silver Surfer. I would have kept it on the list for top 5. Personally.
All right. Well,
I would have kept it because it's
John,
bad.
what would you say about Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer?
I was the one who put it up, and honestly, I would have agreed with you guys. It was a top 7 worst movie, but I don't think it was a top 5. So I'm with you. Kick it off.
Okay, so right, we never been this far, John. So we have 3 movies left that are not locked in. Which one does not move on to top 5?
All 3 of these need to make it.
I mean, if we kept The Last Stand, I feel like Wolverine's got to be the one that goes. So that's the one I'm kicking off.
Damn. Everyone can
tough.
pick
the other 2 movies are worse, in my opinion.
Okay, so X-Men Origins Wolverine's on the chopping block, which means we go back to Cody, who voted for this one first. Cody.
Can I be the decider? Can I be the decider?
Yes. Fine, you can be the decider. First, and look, a matter movies aside, I don't think it matters because X-Men Origins Wolverine's still just absolute garbage and it should not be on the list. So, no, this moves on. Ryan, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Does it stay or does it go?
I would take it off this list because I think there are other movies that are worse than this one.
Okay. Robert, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Does it stay or does it go?
You know, we already have an X-Men movie, but this one's worse, so it stays.
All right, you had it for a second. Cody, does it stay or does it go?
Origins Wolverine.
Okay, I'm at a tough crossroad here. Because now I'm sitting there.
Infinity War is going to be added to that list.
If Fantastic Four or Fan Four Stick does not make the list, I'm going to be quite pissed off. But I think Elektra is garbage too.
That was my dilemma. So
why do y'all defend Ghost Rider for being worse than these?
Don't say y'all because that ain't.
I know, Cody. You're with me.
I just don't want your movie to get knocked off as well. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to have to let it play out. X-Men Origins makes this list. Hands down.
Okay, so that is also locked in. So I believe everyone has at least tried to knock something off. Mm-hmm. So we keep going. Ryan, we're back to you. What gets knocked off? Fan Four Stick or Elektra?
Avengers Infinity War.
Stop talking about Infinity War. Gosh darn it.
You're really excited for that movie for someone who doesn't like half the MCU.
Yeah, I am because I hope it makes up for the fact that Avengers: Age of Ultron is a piece of crap. So.
Well, we're not talking about that one.
Yeah. Still, it's terrible. What? Hold on a second. Fan Four Stick or Elektra to stay or go?
Yes.
Okay. Why haven't
we've never gotten this many picks without eliminating something?
Well,
we've eliminated one.
We eliminated one. We never. You know what I mean?
No, I understand. Yeah.
I will say that only because I haven't seen the movie, Fan Four Stick should be taken off.
You motherfucker!
Oh,
I thought you were going the other way. Okay, so fantastic. So Fan Four Stick is up on the shouting block. I put it on here, so I'm gonna say a giant yes. It fucking stays. There's no universe in which it does not make top 7. It does not make top 5. Cody, the Fan Four Stick stairs a go.
This may be where me and Robert divide, but we would have also been in this point. We wouldn't be in this situation if freaking Ghost Rider didn't make the list. So, just overall, the way that movie made me feel leaving the theater, Fan Four Stick definitely makes this list. It is hot garbage.
All right.
And Miles Teller punched the director for a reason.
You punched the director?
Yes, they got into a physical altercation.
Wow. Okay, John, going to you next.
Because the first 20 minutes of Fan Four Stick is okay, I'm gonna take it off.
And here it goes.
It's going to Robert.
Okay, so Robert, You're the decider in this case.
All right. So I'm with Cody as far as y'all should have taken Ghost Rider off this list. But other than that, I have to go for how my personal rankings went between Fantastic Four and Elektra.
Don't you fucking do it.
And I have Fantastic Four lower. So Fantastic Four is somehow not in the top 5 worst.
You did this to your Chance. You did this to yourself, Chance.
I truly, and like, I do not like Fantastic Four. It's not a good movie. The first probably half of the movie actually kind of works. And I think Elektra is a worse movie.
Oh, jeez, this hurts. This hurts. Okay, so
you did it to yourself.
I did this myself. You should have taken Spider-Man 2 off.
3 people put a movie on the list. You were one of them that did Ghost Rider. You could have avoided
and you did not knock Spider-Man 2 off.
Because I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 is worse.
You asked Ryan the question.
This is everyone's fault, okay? We gotta.
Everybody's at fault.
Listen, I'm sorry I nominated Ghost Rider. I'm sorry.
No,
especially Ryan. Everyone's fault.
It's a bad movie. It's a bad movie.
You're right.
All right, so this is probably the most divisive episode we're gonna have on the show. So here we go. Our top 5 stands: Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance, Elektra, X-Men: The Last Stand, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and what was the last one?
Wolverine
Elektra,
and Ghost Rider.
Wolverine, yeah.
Well, X-Men and Wolverine. Okay, so those are our top 5. Okay, so reminder. So Elektra, Amazing Spider-Man 2, X-Men 3: The Last Stand, Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance, and X-Men and Wolverine. Let's do that twice.
That sounds right.
Sounds right.
Okay. But you guys get it. So this is now the rankings period of the show. We write down a spot list is going to be for voting, and we all write down what we believe deserves to go on that spot. So you all write down what you believe goes in the number 5 spot. And this episode was a mistake. I just realized. I thought Ward's MCU was gonna be a nightmare. This is worse. Can't believe
you could have just joined me in Robert's side.
Yeah,
just joined it.
I will not conform. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is. You really want to?
People are gonna hate on me because they're gonna think that I love Fantastic Four now.
No. According
to send you a Blu-ray copy of it.
You love Fan 4 Stick.
I do. I love Fan 4 Stick. Now you have the soundbite.
I'm sending you a Blu-ray of it.
You said put down what number 5 is, right?
From now on to the end of time, you love Fan 4 Stick.
I'm actually sending him a basic DVD. He doesn't even get high definition. He gets
high def. All right, Cody, I'm going to you first.
You get the SD version.
Cody.
Ghost Rider. Instant. Should have made it.
John.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Ghost Rider number 5.
Really, guys, it's the guilt getting to you. Robert.
Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance should be number 5.
Fuck. All right, that settles it. I'm not even gonna show you what I wrote. Ryan, what would you say? Actually, no, Ryan, don't show it. Don't show it. So if you all write down what goes in the number 4 spot on the list.
Okay. This is where it's gonna get interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, because I'm okay with all top wherever they rank. They'll be okay.
Let's see.
I just have one in the top half since it got eliminated.
All right. Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go first this time. Maybe it shouldn't even be on this fucking list. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Ryan.
You and I are in agreement, son. I said Amazing Spider-Man for number 4.
For once on this fucking show. Robert.
X-Men: The Last Stand.
Okay, real quick, I gotta write that down.
You are wrong, sir.
John.
Same as Robert. X-Men: The Last Stand.
Oh, you sick
Cody, did you have either of these 2 movies?
Just like All Night Long, me and Robert are in complete Last Stand.
Yes.
God damn it! All right, so now write down what goes in the number 3 spot on the list. I hate this.
Yes.
I hate this.
We did it, Cody.
Now this is where it
gets I'm convinced you and Cody just conspired behind the scenes.
We didn't talk before that we started recording at all.
I didn't even know he was on the call.
You're lying.
Lies.
Lies. Lies.
All right, from now on, I'm content with the rest of this list.
Me too. I'm
I'm
gonna.
not.
Fuck you.
I'm not content now. We started off so strong, and then we just went downhill.
Well, I know this was gonna get probably the most votes, so I'm just gonna go with that. I'm gonna play that kind of game.
Yeah, I got my number 3.
All right, going to Cody first again. Cody.
I'll let you have a chance. Amazing Spider-Man 3.
There you go.
God, thank you.
2, sorry.
2.
Oh, they never made the second one because this one was really, really bad, Chance.
I'm with the agreement right here. Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I think we're all in agreement on this one at long fucking last. Robert.
Not Robert.
I still said X-Men Origins Wolverine. I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 is worse.
No,
How dare you? How dare you?
I just
Ryan.
I knew I would lose this fight. I'm going to fall on my own sword. It's fine.
Ryan.
I said Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay, so that settles it. I said Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Yay.
I agree with you, Robert, but I knew it was going to get the most.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't winning that fight, but I'm still going to fight for it.
So now we have to vote on what goes in number 1 spot on the list. Is it going to be Electro? Is it going to be X-Men Origins Wolverine?
This is for the number 1 spot?
Yes.
Numero uno, son.
So we're putting both down, I guess? Okay.
No, you can just put 1.
You can just put 1. Yeah.
Just put your number 1, the worst movie.
The pick for number 1. Index cards, Robert. So academic of you.
I couldn't find my dry erase marker, so we're just doing this.
It's okay, man. There's always a plan B. All good.
All right. Well, let's get this over with. I'm going to go first. Number 1, Electra. Ryan.
Yep, you and I are in agreement once again. Electra is number 1.
All right. Robert.
Electra.
There
That
you go.
settles it. John, what did you have?
Same as you. Origins number 2, Electra 1.
And Cody, what did you
And
have?
when Force Stick went out, it went to Electra.
Yep.
All right, so just to recap our top 5. Oh, boy. Number 5, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Number 3, X-Men The Last Stand. Number 4, X-Men The Last Stand.
Gotcha.
Number 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Number 2, X-Men Origins Wolverine. And the number 1 worst Marvel movie of all time. But not really, because this list is flawed. Even I'm admitting it on this show. Electra. Which, for the record, the second time that a worst comic book movies list has had a female led movie at the top. Which either way, look, fun list, fun show. Look, Catwoman was the other.
Yeah.
So, but either way, fun list, fun show. Yeah, it's really fantastic. But either way, that was our list. You guys can voice. I'm definitely gonna put this poll on the Facebook page. Because I think this was fun.
We're in for some heat.
Oh, we're going to get so many hater comments, especially on me.
We are going to get the pushback.
Can you do 2 different polls? Can you do what we came up with, and then Ryan's opinions? And we'll see how many.
I think I might. I might do that one. I might let Ryan make that poll. But either way, you want to send your hate mail, Cody Newburry, John Wroble, Robert Parker, Ryan Permison, and I'm your host, Chance Ellison. Want to say thank you, and hopefully we'll have a less begrudging episode next week when we do the top 5 best Marvel movies, which hopefully should be really fun. Till then, I will see you next time.